freedom, my land cries. 1961, a day we remember. Independence we gained, a new dawn of splendor, yet shadows have come, and we're under their weight. Freedom for Ambazonia.
Hi, good morning, fellow Ambazonians. I just got up this morning with a thought about our revolution, about our struggle, and I said, let me put out this message. And if you get a chance, just share with all your friends, share with those who you know, share with those who you think matter most. I'm going to just address a few things here that I expected Ambazonians to be doing in order to succeed. And Ambazonians have not done it. When this revolution started, every Ambazonian from every corner made it a point that they want to belong. They want to see the injustice on our people to stop. But for all these years, you see one person dropping here and there, the other person dropping here and there. And at the end of the day, we as Ambazonians have not taken advantage of what we've learned in schools in the diaspora, in schools in Africa and every other part of the world. La République that we know is not as intelligent, is not smart to resolve any issue, have successfully dismantled or slowed down the progress of this revolution just by taking very, very minimal actions. Very, very minimal actions, I would say, is the fact that they started by making sure they just look at one person, not even a leader in the Ambazonia revolution, and give them a few crumbs so that they can start insulting and labeling allegations at other leaders for collecting bribes. They have done that in so many instances, and most people have believed them because they are standing on the treetops shouting the names of one leader to the other, that they've done this, they've done that without any evidence, and that has really, really fractured the struggle that we all came in together. That is one thing that La République has done so well. Some of it is not even La République. It's our own disability of knowledge. We have done very well to label others as enablers, coup plotters, blacklegs, everything that you can think of. I would have thought that Ambazonians will use the knowledge, the ability for them to do investigative work, to identify what positive things we should be doing, not what negative things that we are doing to chase others away from the struggle. The second thing is, this one is on the ground in La République, even in Ambazonia. One thing that La République has done so well, and nobody has ever thought about it, is the fact that they created a scenario where every so often La République will go in one area of the city or one area of the town, shoot in the air for hours or for minutes. That is, sometimes they'll even do that and kill one civilian or somebody. And that will give a positive message to the Ambazonian struggle, to Ambazonians thinking, oh, our fighters are doing a great job, they are chasing the enemy away. Which is just La République making sure they give false hope to the Ambazonians to start thinking, oh, we still have boys in this area. And this has happened just for the fact that we are not united, we are not together. This team is thinking, oh, the other team on that end is shooting or they are fighting with La Republic. When they do that, some of our gullible leaders in the diaspora will get out there and take responsibility and say our forces did this at this end of the town. Where La Republic is doing that just to give the false hope. And our boys who were supposed to be fighting, they are taking a back seat, thinking, oh, this other group on the other end is doing something, which is just La Republic making noise and slowing down the progress of the revolution. The last thing I'm going to say is Ambazonians have vehemently refused to unite just because everybody wants to be a leader. But nobody wants to lead. People want to talk behind the social media about, oh, I will do this, I will do that. When you want to be a leader, you have to have people that will work with you. You cannot be a leader by yourself. You need to be looking at who am I going to work with? What is my strategy? What do I want to accomplish? Am I creating another faction in this revolution to slow things down? So we need to all come back together and ask ourselves, if we call ourselves the diaspora revolution, we are all in the diaspora. People have been in school, they are doing so well in the diaspora, but they cannot use the little knowledge that we have to say, no, if you are driving in a muddy road and the tracks, they look dry, but you get in there and the car can keep running on the same spot, and you do not back up to take a different track so that you can get out of that mud, you are going to keep digging yourself. Before you know it, the under of the car, the bottom part of the car will be suspended and you will not go anywhere. That is what Ambazonians should be thinking today. Where do I take one few steps behind so that I can be able to move forward? Because if you think you're going to keep moving forward on the wrong track, you will be digging yourself in a hole that will never get you out. So, Ambazonians, we have all seen what is being done to our people. If you are in the diaspora, if you are anywhere in the diaspora, even if you are in La Republic, you are in Ambazonia, and you do not get up today, you do not get up and say, I'm going to fight for our people, then you are wicked. I would say you are wicked because those in the diaspora that cannot get up one day and give $500, $200, even $20 to say, I'm going to support those who have given their life to support to even fight against the injustice on our people, then you are wicked to your own homeland. So reflect on this. I say this because it's painful to see how we get up everybody and young people are struggling to fight with an army that is armed by so many different countries, but we cannot even give something to say, I will fight and fight until I'm not able to get up. Ambazonians need to reflect. We need to get up, create one Ambazonia revolution, create one structure, create one direction, and we will succeed. La Republic is no more intelligent than us, but they have used us. They have used us to destroy us. So let's get up. Thank you, everybody, and good morning, and have a blessed Monday.
I followed a lengthy video from Dr. Akwanga yesterday. I was bitter and thought of replying to that video in the same manner that Dr. Akwanga puts out that audio, that video. But I asked myself, if I had replied same, of what use was that going to be? Let me tell Dr. Akwanga something that Dr. Akwanga and Che Ayaba and Sako, not living out from Gumgojintika, have failed to understand in life. These people that have mentioned their names have failed in understanding how the masses perceive rulers to be. The masses choose you to rule them, and not you imposing yourself to rule them. Dr. Akwanga is saying that the Southern Cameroons will never be free. That the freedom of the Southern Cameroons can only come through him, Jesus Christ. If the freedom of the Southern Cameroons can only come through Dr. Akwanga, for the 50 years that he has been in Southern Cameroon struggle, why are we not free? Is 50 years not more than enough time to free a people? Why has Dr. Akwanga not freed the people of the Southern Cameroons for this length of time, decades gone? And he's still promising that the freedom of the Southern Cameroons can only come through him. Does it mean if Dr. Akwanga dies? I'm not wishing him that too. He must not get me wrong. Does it mean if Dr. Akwanga dies today, the Southern Cameroons will never be free because Dr. Akwanga has died, and his death is going to be the death of the Southern Cameroons liberation? Why did Dr. Akwanga, Che Ayaba, Sako, all these guys are calling themselves doctors? That's the irony of the whole thing. They went to school to learn what they. Imposition. They fail to understand that people have the right to reason the way they reason. They fail to understand that people have the right to choose who they want to lead them. And they think they can impose themselves to lead a people. Where have these people kept the word humility? Can they humble themselves in front of the people for the people to see their humility and now choose them to lead? Who told Dr. Akwanga that you can lead a people by your arrogance or with your arrogance? With my time in the SDF, I know that politicians or leaders who want to lead a people are soft-spoken people, convincing people. Convince me to support you. Do not force me to support you. I will not. The billion-dollar question here is, whoever told Dr. Akwanga that he is the only one, and without him, the Southern Cameroons cannot be liberated? Is he more than Albert Muko? Is he more than those that have died? Didn't Richard Nguafumaso died while in prison with him? Did the struggle die with Richard Nguafumaso? Why does Dr. Akwanga think that he is the only one to lead? Like I really asked, if he thinks that he is the only one to liberate the Southern Cameroons, and he had been in the Southern Cameroons for the past 50 years, why has he not liberated Southern Cameroons for the past 50 years? And it is now that he thinks he can liberate Southern Cameroons. Dr. Akwanga, John Garang led the SPLA for almost 30 years. He died about 2 years before South Sudan gained independence. The independence of South Sudan came without John Garang. Dr. Akwanga, with or without you, the independence of the Southern Cameroons will still come. Stop bullying Southern Cameroonians with that flame, with that empty statement of you or nothing. It will not happen. This is Samuel Thomas talking, Dr. Akwanga. You are just an individual, and the Southern Cameroons struggle. You do not have the golden egg in your hands that will liberate Southern Cameroons. We as a people will liberate the Southern Cameroons, and not you as an individual. For if it was a matter of you as an individual, then the Southern Cameroons could have long been liberated. But for the fact that you were not the one to liberate the Southern Cameroons, that person that will liberate the Southern Cameroons is still elsewhere and will one day come, with you or without you. With you in the grave, with me in the grave, or with me still alive. Maybe I'm the one to do that, but I will not impose myself to do it. The people can choose me to lead them into the promised land. Moses left Egypt, moving to the promised land, but he never reached the promised land. Dr. Akwanga, Moses did not reach the promised land. He saw the promised land, but didn't enter the promised land. So you cannot stop the independence of the Southern Cameroons because you are not the leader. You are just an individual. We, as a people, will liberate the Southern Cameroons, and not you, as Akwanga, will liberate the Southern Cameroons. Stop that bullshitting of Southern Cameroonians, of telling them that without you, the Southern Cameroons will never be liberated. Who are you? Stop that bullshit, man. If you are a doctor, behave like one. Let me tell you, with all that arrogance that you have in you, you will never lead the Southern Cameroon struggle. But we will reach Boya with or without you. What kind of a nonsense is this? Good morning, fellow Southern Cameroonians, and good evening. Good afternoon. My name is Samuel Thomas. I don't go this morning. Like yesterday, I listened to two contradictory audios from Sako. Two very extreme contradictory audios from Sako. One, bashing every other Southern Cameroonian that had distanced himself from Sako. And another hypocritical one coming to talk about unity. Maybe I ask Sako. For the past 2 years, since Sako becomes the constitutional coup d'etat, yes, for the past 2 years, since Sako becomes the constitutional coup d'etat within the IG, the IG don't call several reconciliation or collaborative meetings Other people come. The most extremist guy, Che Ayaba, he come. Sako fitted Southern Cameroon if we don't ever attend one or send a mission for attend one of those collaborative or conciliatory meetings. Even when international institutions like the Hudson Institute for the United States, it called for one. Sako become, even when the mission with Bishop Nkeya and Reverend Funky, even I name be that, the moderator of the Presbyterian Church, they be carried out by the United States. Sako become with all the town hall meetings where Ato Mutua, Dr. Fontainebleau, they call him. Has Sako ever attended any? The collaborative platform where it go on now, Sako no say it exists. Now, which kind of collaboration or unity Sako they talk about? Now, unity for Sako on terms, or now unity or collaboration for the terms of everybody. Like I once said, Sako is the worst omen that has ever happened in the Southern Cameroon struggle. Is Sako now placing himself in a position of apologizing to the people of Southern Cameroon for all the wrongdoings that he has done to this struggle? For all of us are standing with our God. Is he ready to return as a prodigal son, or he wants to return as a son without blame? That's a $1 million question. Does Sako understand how many thousands of people Sako has caused them to abandon the Southern Cameroon struggle? Did I, Saba Thomas, not advise Sako years ago? Or even more, not to sack Milton Tucker, and advising him, even if Milton Tucker has made a mistake that you think, check the political constituency that Milton Tucker represents, which is South Africa, an important constituency of the struggle. Please, because of that, because of the risk of losing, that would be the worst mistake you've ever made. Didn't I advise Sako to handle that situation amicably? Did Sako listen to anybody? After Sako caused his constitutional coup d'etat, as if that wasn't enough, didn't Sako take the IG to court? Constitutional. Why didn't Sako place himself? Constitutional. Why didn't Sako place himself in front of the Southern Cameroon's populace to interrogate his good deeds and approve him as the leader of the Southern Cameroon struggle? Why has Sako continuously been calling people of the IG coup plotters? If people of the IG are coup plotters, why did Sako run away or run from calling himself interim government and government of the Southern Cameroons IG as he claims. Why did he run away from calling himself IG to now form something funny that does not exist? Real government of the Southern Cameroons. Where is that real government of the Southern Cameroons, like Sako is pretentiously saying today? Now we do not have a real government or a real constitution for once we arrive, Boya. Did Sako listen to me long ago when I said everything that we are doing now are just temporary? By on the day we arrive, Boya, every other thing, everything that we've been doing will be null and void. Did Sako listen to that voice of reason on that day? He is coming out today to repeat exactly what I've said 4 years ago, that we will never carry a Western cabinet to go and impose on the people of Southern Cameroon. Did Sako listen? Did he advise everybody that was in the interim system that we should know that we are not going to be imposed as ministers and presidents in the Southern Cameroons once we arrive, Boya? When is today that Sako is coming back to reenact what I've been saying, what I said long ago? That was a reality. What has suddenly happened to Sako that he's coming back to that reality today? Has the house finally collapsed? I was listening to an audio coming from Iringwa. It's even that of that audio, the preaching that came out of the mouth of Iringwa was more than that of any ordained preacher. Even Pope John Paul never made such a preaching when he was alive. But Iringwa did provide the people of the Southern Cameroon with a sermon in the form of a prayer. Where is Iringwa today? Where is Nijo today? Where is Dr. Tita today? My sister Magilda, Dr. Gilda, all the doctors have allowed themselves to be belittled by Sako. People who are with their money to put into this struggle have allowed themselves to be belittled by a liability called Sako. I couldn't stand it when that moment came. Yes, I couldn't stand it. The way some intellectuals in the Southern Cameroon struggle have belittled themselves is alarming. I don't know if it is because of the contract they've paid to Sako that when they arrive, Boya, Sako will be Mr. His Excellency. President Sako. I will be dishing out contracts. You are Minister of Territorial Administration. You are Minister of Education. You are Minister of Public Health. That they were sticking with Sako. Now that the house of cards have come crashing, will you people still keep on sticking with a liability? I hope the time has come for all Southern Cameroonians to ask themselves, like I used to ask all of you, Why did you ever join this struggle? Was it Sama Thomas that invited you to join? Was it Sako that invited you to join? Or it was the suffering of our people and the occupation of our land that invited you to join the struggle? Once you cannot separate these two things, how you join the struggle, then you will always keep on playing that game of a mumu, like the Nigerian people will say, "Our mumu never too much. Wena mumu, it never too much." Sako is making these hypocritical audios today, which are very, very contradictory to each other. Why didn't Sako call out the destructive elements, those harlots who goes by the name Mama G, Malicham, and so on and so forth, and Lucifer himself, Nathan Ochiba, who sees nothing good out of any other Southern Cameroonian but Sako? Anybody with an opinion that does not align with that of Sako is a sellout, is an enabler, has been bribed. Only Sako has never been bribed, and Nathan Ochiba. Every other Southern Cameroonian has been bribed. How did we reach here? I've always been asking this question. How did we ever reach here? For us to move forward, let me tell you, Sako, the thunder that will fire Sako is still making press up, and will make that press up for months before striking. Yes, the destruction that Sako has caused the Southern Cameroon struggle is that which man cannot use his mouth to tell. If not of Sako's destructive actions in the Southern Cameroon struggle, if he was that fellow that can unite a people, maybe today we could have been in Boya. But because of the dictatorial attitude, the setback that we are now faced with, 2016 was even better, far of better than where we are today after 8 years. Caused by who? Dictator Sako. And for the Southern Cameroons and the Southern Cameroonian people to correct that wrong, like Dictator Sako has been saying persistently, if it's a revolution, as well as a dictatorship, it's not a revolution. Sako, the Southern Cameroon struggle has been a democratic struggle from day one, and not a dictatorial one, and you are not the one that is going to come today to tell us how it must be a dictatorship. For us to succeed to go to Boya, Sako must leave the leadership of the Southern Cameroon struggle. I don't know the people that he is leading, for he can only lead but cowards, and not people who have a thought of theirs. It is said that cowards die many times before they are finally buried, wherever they will be buried or eaten by dogs. Sako can only lead by cowards and not intellectuals.
Heart to victorious shore, let the cry of freedom soar in symphony. For every woman, child and sage, we stand united, turn the page. Ambazonia, land of dreams, united voices, radiant beams. From hills to shores, in unity, our one true call is to be free.